Hey guys, and it's been a while since I posted my last video, and maybe some of you have been wondering where have I been, or maybe not, because I don't think, at least according to the analytics, most of the viewers who watch my videos, unfortunately, they don't subscribe. But regardless, I'm back and I'm here to share my story, and again, hopefully, my experience, my stories will actually be helpful to some of you guys out there. And I'm actually living in Melbourne, and more specifically um, to the western suburbs. And for those who don't know or who are not from Australia, Melbourne is in Victoria, Australia, and I'm in the western suburbs. And the western side, I believe, is well known for having more crime rates. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that has always been the case. And with that said, what actually happened was, unfortunately and sadly, my bike has been stolen. And of course, those who subscribe or watch my videos, you would know that this channel is heavily based and centered around my bike, which is the Ninja H2. With that said, with the bike being stolen, that means I can no longer pump out videos or content. Of course, my videos and contents are not like very special or high level, but at least for what I can do, at least I'm quite happy with the results. Not to say very satisfied, but I'm happy with what I have been doing so far. But unfortunately, the bike was stolen a month ago, and up until now, I've been trying to deal with the issue, which is why I haven't been able to update anything. Um, the bike was stolen right from the basement car park of the apartment where I was living in. And that means I have already moved out, with that being one of the main concern, because not only that my bike was stolen, apparently there have been many break-ins and theft and burglary happening in that apartment, despite being a very newly built and finished apartment. I believe the apartment was only completed in late 2024, or even early 2025. So being such a new place and already experiencing countless numbers of break-ins is ridiculous. Apparently, because before even they stole my bike, there have been multiple bikes that have been stolen, and because as I spoke to the building manager, they have like a long list of the break-ins and thief that has occurred. And sadly, I don't know if the police are trying their best or not. I think they are. And more about that later on, because I'll break this down into a few videos. I don't think I can fit everything in one go. So unfortunately, most of the cases, there haven't been much progress. So yeah, that's the main reason, one of the main reasons I moved out, because of the safety and because of my assets or property. And yeah, even though my bike was parked in the basement car park, as you can see here, um, it's quite in an open, so I was quite surprised they didn't touch or steal my bike. very much early on until I think it was my bike was one of the very last few that was that they stolen, not the very first few. So that was a bit confusing to me, as in why they didn't steal my bike. I mean, touch wood. I don't want it to be stolen, but I'm just confused that if they have been targeting it, so why not when it was out in the open that it can be easily taken? Because what exactly happened was I parked here in the very wide open, but with that said, it was among the cars. Maybe I'm guessing maybe that's why um, they didn't or they couldn't steal the bike, considering that it's a little bike. It's quite heavy, and with the winglets, it's kind of hard to maneuver them in between the cars. At least that's my thought. But again, there is a huge gap around the back, because there is the other side, right hand side, where the parking slot is always empty. They could have moved the bike over there and out. But again, I don't understand. Regardless, maybe only similar minds think alike, and of course I don't. So when it was out in the open, there were a few times that my bike cover was flipped open, I believe, because definitely they didn't put the cover back properly. So I noticed that a few times, but I thought maybe it was just the residents checking out the bike or checking out what's underneath. I didn't think too much about it until about the same time I get to find out that the Aprilia that was there was stolen. I didn't know the owner of the bike until that time, because I saw a friend of mine posted on Instagram, and I said, wait, is that the Aprilia that is in the basement car park in this apartment? And then she said, yeah. So at that time, that's when I get to find out that a lot of bikes have already been stolen, and the Aprilia was one of the last few. So after that, my bike fortunately still remains safe in the car park basement, until all of a sudden the owner of the Aprilia called me one day on Instagram. So I was like, oh wow, what's happening? Why so sudden? And she advised me that if I have anywhere to move the bike, it's better that I do so. And at that time, I was also thinking, yeah, maybe that's better, but I didn't know where to move it. I have a scheduled appointment with one of the mechanic upcoming 1 week before the bike was stolen. So at that very moment, I told her, thank you. Okay, I'll try to find a way. So there were two options in my mind. Firstly, is to drop the bike off early to the mechanic. Of course, I don't think they will mind. And then secondly, is to move it to my friend's place. But I don't know if he will take it, because previously I wanted to store the bike there, but it wasn't accepted. So I scrapped that thought, but also I was kind of reluctant to move the bike too far away from myself. But that is one of the regret, because I thought, okay, I can't drop it to my friend, and a bit reluctant or lazy thoughts. So don't succumb to your lazy thoughts. I'm a bit reluctant and lazy to drop it off to the mechanic as well. And what I ended up doing was I just moved the bike into a storage cage that is still in the basement car park. I lock it up inside with the padlock, and then of course with the initial disc brake lock as well on the bike. I thought maybe that would help, because anyways I just only need to persevere for a few more days until I drop the bike off to the mechanic for the scheduled appointment. And this is the place where I locked the bike in. It's like right across from where I initially parked the bike. And comparing the two places, one is bright open spaces and one is a little bit dark, not fully dark but hidden. I guess if I have to say, maybe that eventually make the thieves decided it's time for them to steal the bike now or never, because the owner moved the bike, so the owner knew, and now it's more hidden compared to before, so it's easier for them to do the work. But yeah, the very same day that I moved the bike here into the storage cage, that very same night it got to be stolen. So that's the whole story for now. So sadly, and got it, that happened because I could have moved the bike away, but I didn't. So for those of you out there not just living in the western suburbs, because of course it's not safe anywhere, doesn't matter whether it's the north, the east, the southeast, the west, there is always stolen vehicles, break-ins, and etc. So the lesson that I learned from this experience is the first thing that comes to your mind, whether it be the first impression, the first feeling, the first thought, that would most likely be the right decision. So follow your first gut feeling, because there were multiple times I had similar gut feeling. I should have done this, I should have done that, and I ended up didn't doing them. So, and always ended up with regrets. Yeah, so that's a lesson for me, and hopefully it will be helpful to you as well. If you ever have anything that comes to your mind, maybe I should do this today, or maybe I should do that, then do it. It's better to do it, and if you ended up making mistakes, learn from the mistake rather than regretting later on saying, I should have done it. Then that's too late. So yeah, but I mean, yeah, it's too late and you still learn from mistake, but you would have suffered some losses or something. Yeah, that's all from me today. More on the stolen bike stories coming up. So if you find the content and information helpful to you, click the like button, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Peace and stay safe.